She's starting young. Yeah. It's cool, isn't it?
Just put a salsa on leave it there. So we don't have to really put it in there. Someone asked the question.
Yeah, okay.
Sean, this thing that's sold?
Yep.
I don't know what sold is. I'll send them and the other two are girls. So he's basically the girls there 500 for the year olds as well.
Yep. Well, the head's been pleasure.
Surname?
Plumry, Plumridge. I don't like that.
Good enough. Cool.
How are they going to be? They're not eating there, are they?
No, just the light there.
Yeah, I know. They'll be fine for a while.
Yeah, otherwise they're going to
You know.
I like that one. Can I have a look at it, please? Which one's that? Information, that's all.
How's the blues going? Hope you're not trying to get a bargain today.
Hey?
Hope you're not trying to get a bargain today. Prices is amazing, isn't it?
Crushes earless dragons over there. Oh,
Did you see it?
I haven't seen. I've only just got here. So.
Across here, actually.
Yeah.
You said that when you take the photo.
But I haven't issued it. But I just don't know what to do.
It makes the bun look pale.
And that'll take all day long. So, I might start the day with 2 rather than jump at 2, and then, I'll get it full. By the end of the day, That's why you can't keep them alive. So, while it's summertime, it's easy to feed them because there's lots of ants. But as soon as winter comes, the ants disappear. So when the ants disappear, then that's the problem. So then you've got to do other things. So it's almost impossible. But we're not allowed to trade them. So even the ones that we breed, we can't trade the those ones either. So
He uses his tongue to do that. Everybody stick your tongues out. So that's what he does, sticks his tongue out all the time. But he has a forked tongue, so show me your fingers like that.
So it just shows you can, when there's a will, isn't there? There's a way. But unfortunately, a lot of people are confronted by my dead fox. They find it very difficult to the fact that this animal was alive, now it is dead. You can see the hole in the back of the head, good shot over.
The previous one.
And when I got this fox, I didn't like shooting. It's beautiful, isn't it? When I got it, it was jam-packed full of turtle eggs. It was jam-packed full of turtle eggs. This fox had been killing at least 1,000 animals a year. But there's millions of foxes killing thousands per fox. What does that mean? What does that tell you? Can our turtle population sustain that? No. And you know how they said the bushfires killed 1 billion animals?
Where's this going?
Years old, and he's probably 1.80 m in length, so you've probably actually already seen him out down there earlier on. And we're doing something we haven't really done at a show before. We're going to try and feed him some rats for you. So we'll see how it goes, because he was pretty cool this morning, but with any luck, we'll get him a feed. So you can see the size of him. And luckily this cord's run down the back, so he shouldn't tear me up too much. He's pretty fiery too, so I'll pop him down on the ground. All right. So I'm going to try a little bit, might be a total flop. You might actually not see anything eat anything today, but so this is our female Lacey. So she's, I'm going to put her over here. So she's 9 years old now. You'll see on the back, she's got a big scar on the back. So if you ever keep large monitors, we rescue monitors from time to time. We've got one that we're going to do we've got a video coming up on our YouTube soon. So what happens is if you just have one light bulb with a large monitor, you can get what's called a thermal burn on the back. So it's because what happens is they stay under the light for a bit too long if the light doesn't cover the whole of the body. And so what you want to do is you want to have a long basking area so that the heat evenly disperses across the whole animal. So this is a pretty big feed for her, and out in the public she may not want to eat as well. So, anyone want some rats? Now, when we are training our monitors and when they are feeding and they're having a food response, we do like to do what's called a concentration break as well, just to make them think about things. She's probably not going to eat because she's new to the show, so she's not going to probably want to eat now. I don't think we're going to get anything to eat, to be honest, but what we do is we do a concentration break with these guys. So if they're coming to food, they'll have a big strong food response. They'll run at you, come at you, try to kind of eat you thinking there's food, but you've got to get them to think about it. See, if these guys smell us, they'll know that it's us and they'll think about it, and you give them the opportunity, then you're not going to cop a food response like. Whereas if you are to just kind of go in there really quickly and they have them charge at you, then if they don't have the time to think, they're going to take you on and kind of give you a nasty bite. Now these guys have venom as well, so it can be a pretty bad bite. I don't think any of our monitors are actually. So this guy we have not really tamed up. He's in the show, but we don't take him to anything but the expos really. So this guy is what you call a Mertens water monitor. Now these guys are really, they don't look chill while I'm holding it like this, but they are actually really chill. You can tell that because he doesn't want to be held, but he's not trying to bite me. So if you've got like a Spencer monitor or a Sand monitor, generally speaking, they're going to be all bluff, they're going to move about, they're going to scratch. Obviously you don't want to cockfight anyway because their teeth are pretty gnarly. But with training up with these guys, you can do one of two techniques. You can do the technique where you go sit in the enclosure like the Lacey's and the Penriths and kind of just get them used to you, let them kind of get used to you over time, or you can get them out and handle them and kind of break them in, I guess, like a bearded dragon. Takes time and you can get scratched up a bit. But yeah, these guys are a much more relaxed kind of lizard in that regard. With Lacey's and Penriths, because they're so intelligent and they're so bold, it doesn't work for you to just pick them up out of the enclosure and hold them. You've got to sit in there, you've got to spend time with them. Again, they're incredibly intelligent, the Lacey's and the Penriths, and some of the other bigger monitors as well. So they do, with time, they will get used to you, they will form a bond, they'll want to climb on you and move about, and they'll even learn the difference, so you can do things like feed them without worrying about them kind of mauling you to pieces. I'm not going to bother trying to feed this guy because I don't think he's going to go for the food either. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the mess of a show, and
people here in the crowd already, but I'm sure there's probably also a few people here that might have just come in to have a look as well, which probably haven't checked for any reptiles before, and haven't had much of a big deal with them in the past. So we've got a couple of common stuff here that you might learn about as well. We'll just tell you a couple of little things about them, and then we'll move on to the couple of big guns of the reptile world that you really want to see. Now the first little guy we've got here, the blue-tongued lizard. I'm sure most people know what a blue-tongued lizard is. And you're going to find these guys are probably more commonly found around your backyard or around your home than what you do if you go out bushwalking, go out looking for reptiles and stuff like that out in the bush. You've got more chance of seeing one of them in your backyard. The reason for that is their favourite food hangs around your backyard. Favourite food for a blue tongue? Snails. They love eating the snails. So they're good natural pest control by hanging around in your backyard. And if you get it to hang around for a while, you give it a bit of banana, a bit of strawberry, a little bit of meat, and you've got that natural pest control blue tongue hanging in your backyard for quite a long time. They live close to 50 years of age. So they do live quite a long time. A bit longer than some of the other lizards out there. Now this one here is a really friendly blue tongue. Its name is Clancy. And Clancy here loves to give people a kiss on the nose. Who wants a kiss on the nose from Clancy? Oh, here we go. We've got our first little runner here. Ready? And there we go. Oh, here we go. Another little guy here. Ready? There we go. Good stuff. Anyone else? Now they didn't die? Alright, ready? Good stuff. Alright, your turn? There we go. Oh, here we go. We've got another one. On the other hand, we do have another lizard here that's a little bit more dangerous. And that's this one here. There we go. That one there's your goanna, or lace monitor. It's called the Bell's Fawn, the broadband version. Now with the goannas, as you can see, they've got those lovely sharp claws on them. And those lovely big sharp claws are designed for climbing up trees, where they're going to find most of their favourite food. Most of their favourite food is going to be bird eggs, young birds. Who can guess what my favourite snake is? Oh, you've nailed it. How did you know that? Because it's on the sign there, isn't it? Okay, here we go. There it is. Isn't that a lovely animal? Now, red-bellied black snakes, as the name suggests, they're actually not completely red under the belly at all. Now, if you look underneath the belly there, they're actually quite pale, so I'm not going to throw it at you. unless you say please. But this little guy here, what you're going to find is that the red-bellied black snake is quite pale under the belly. And most of that red coloration is mainly up the side flanks of that snake. So while he's got that coloration up the side flanks, when they were first described by the first scientists that came out with the first fleet and stuff, they set the first specimen, and this first specimen was actually the red-bellied black snake. And with that snake going over there, they actually called it the crimson-sided snake to start with. And with that little belly there and it not being completely red at all, it wouldn't really probably get the name as red belly. Water looking for frogs. They're usually much more excited to hang around on dry grasslands and hunt rodents. So it's not really a matter of the red-bellied black snake. And that's this little guy. Isn't he gorgeous? Now this here is your death adder. Now death adders, as the name suggests, they call them death adders and stuff, but there's a few sort of reasons why they got that name. The reason they got called an adder is because it looks like the body shape of a puff adder from over in Africa. Now this one here is the fourth most venomous snake in the world. There we go. Isn't that lovely? That one there is your tiger snake. Now that's pretty much your classic tiger snake. It's got very obvious banding on it. So with that obvious banding, you know it's a tiger snake. Now a lot of times we do get other snakes that has banding. We get eastern brown snakes can be banded a lot of the times. I've seen some tiger snakes and some eastern browns that look almost identical with some of the banding they've had on them. Now this one here is a bit of a classic, it's a bit of a mixed breed between the different varieties of tiger snakes out there. And what you're going to find is some tiger snakes may not have any banding at all. Alright, here we go. Alright, isn't he lovely? He's a decent sized snake, isn't he? Now this guy here is your eastern brown snake. He's a pretty chilled out one, he doesn't really care too much about me. But if you come across a snake that size out in the wild and he gets defensive, they have that typical big S up. Little Dundee the crocodile. We'll bring him out to say hello to you all. Alright, here we go. There we go. Isn't he gorgeous? Now, little Dundee here is a baby saltwater crocodile. As I was mentioning earlier, the only reptile we have in this country that will attack you is one of these guys. Even at this size, he's quite willing to give it a crack. At the moment, he probably can't kill you unless he...
7 on average, so we've only got 60 odd days now left, so we're on the home stretch. Crazy. Yeah. Anyway, man, I better keep rolling. But yeah, no worries. Good to see you. Yeah, you come up to the, if you're coming up to the park, just let us know. Oh, I know, they're Komodo.